Good morning, good morning. So yesterday, oh no, honest to God. I was going to say yesterday after my silent nose video, I've decided to not even try using the microphone because something went on with it yesterday. I mean, the light was on, so it's not like the battery's gone out. Anyway, so I've decided to work on my eye. That green that got in there wasn't the sap green. I want the sap green, not the Viridian green. That's the Viridian green there. And that's the sap green, but I put Viridian into that space. Sorry, that's the sap green there, but I put Viridian into that space by mistake. Anyway, so there. I'm looking to explain the eye, to carry it on here, this one. The eye that's on the shadow side of the face, I guess. And I just think I'd start with the red and green mix. I don't know why, but that seems to work for me as a starting point anyway, for the skin on the shadow side. Let's see. Kind of trying to find the eyebrow shape there. I'm going to go back and make it lighter. No, I think I'm going to put some cerulean blue into that cadmium red. I just wanted to have more of just a cooler kind of a hint to it as it goes up into the forehead, the skin there. I don't like the way that cerulean blue mixes with other colours, but it seemed to me to be the colour I wanted there, so off I went. And then there's a kind of a burnt sienna glow to the right temple as I'm looking at myself. I'm going to scoop up that drip because that's where the burnt sienna is going to sit. Somewhere there. Oh my goodness, it's quite dominant. So I'll just also dry the brush and just lift up the excess pigment there. I find that the drops in watercolour can be useful to describe things, so I would recommend that you really look out for where you lift the brush, because that'll cause a drop to happen. And even also printing the brush, printing on like this will allow you to create clarity without it being a very dark pigment. As it sits on the surface, it kind of reads as being darker. So the upper lid there has got that quality to it. And then it's just a matter of trying to avoid it so that it doesn't run. I think this might need to be scooped up a bit though, because it looks like maybe the brush should be dry. I like the shape and everything, but it felt like it might go straight down, and at the moment I don't want that happening. So I'm going to find where the corner of the eye is. Just put a touch of cerulean, no, cadmium red into that. There we are, yeah. Touch of cadmium red in there. And then I'm going to use that to make a kind of a purple colour with the ultramarine blue. Because to me I see a kind of something purplish happening where, yeah, underneath. So the skin coming up to meet the upper surface of the lower lid on that side, to me reads as a little bit purplish. I'm just trying to find the position of it. I can alter the shade and colour if I need to later. I'm just trying to find the position of that purplish colour. I think it may also feature kind of here, well, not exactly the purple, but the same depth of tone might feature there. And I said yesterday, although you wouldn't have heard it because it was fucking mute, I have a photograph of my face in this angle if anyone wanted to give it a shot. Or even just the nose, or you know. So let me know if you want me to send you it. What am I doing now here? I think I'm going to I continue with I was going to go to the smaller brush to find the kind of inside lid and the top of the iris, but I think I'll stick with the bigger brush. It challenges me to be a bit more succinct, I think. And I like that, especially in things like eyes where you could really go to town on detail. Sorry, the inner corner. I'm setting up a Patreon or Patreon account because I'm interested in directly communicating with folk, and I love teaching. I love explaining what things work for me and what I've discovered over the years in regard to creativity and everything. I love sharing all of that, and I want to do it on a wider scale if possible. And so I feel I'm going to it's just influencing my thoughts around the videos and things, and kind of things I could offer, and maybe a sequence of lessons on different things and all that kind of carry on, but still maintaining this sense of fun and playfulness and curiosity, and always coming at it with that attitude, never sacrificing technique for heart, I suppose. Never sacrificing heart for technique, maybe is what I meant. I can't smile now because my eyes go all crinkly. Don't know. Wow, I've never done anything like this before. So what's going to happen here now is I'm going to find the inner lid by printing again. I'm going to move to my 1/4" brush now and make some sense of this and see. I want to shave off that little bit there because I feel like, and I don't know if that was right now or not. But maybe I need to just kind of carry on with the position of the dark here. Maybe it's about there. And I could always use some of that green. You know, now my eyes are green. I suppose that's another thing. I kind of know it rather than I'm seeing it. So I'm going to make it the colour that I'm seeing, which is a much more muted shade. And I'm putting in the very darkest bit of the iris where I see it to be. I'm noticing where it sits too along the eyebrow. That's a helpful thing to acknowledge. And looking at also at the shape of the skin between the eyebrow and the eye helps me a lot. I don't want to dilute the pupil, but I do want to make it darker, so I think I just need to wait until the rest of the eye is dry before I can complete it. And then in that case I'll move elsewhere and consider what else is happening here. One of the things I'm noticing is there's a kind of glow of burnt sienna on this side of the face somehow, and I see it again in this triangle, but it's too wet around it, so I'm just going to carry on down to the cheekbone there, which maybe has a touch of alizarin in it actually. It's alizarin there, and then there's a little bit of alizarin down here too, I think. And maybe some more of this purplish thing going on under the eyes, helpful. Kind of, my chin was lifted all the time and suddenly dropped it because I realised my nose isn't as lifted as my eye was. Apologise if Maisie starts to bark loudly. She has been known to spontaneously bellow for no obvious reason. She sounds like she's warming up the old vocals there. Right, I've got some green gold that I think might work in the lower iris section. I've totally flooded the pupil there, so I need to come back and re-establish that later. Oh my god. That's actually not white there. And I'm going to shave off the edge of this to reduce the volume of it. And I'm just feeling the dark sense where while the eye is drying a bit. I don't know how much is going to dry in this feather. Shivering here. Well, actually I'm not shivering, I'm just I'll use another brush there to shave the inner side of this eye. And of course this is darker than this bit of the white of the eye, so called. It's not white at all. Out here is significantly darker than the white on the inside. For now I'm just going to do some of these clarifying marks. That's really not going to be that colour. And I think I'll chance putting in the pupil now. Let's see. It'll be wet and wet, like. Even just a touch of it there. And then I'm going to increase the tone in other areas. Increase the dark. Kind of the definition. Like I don't have any clean paper towel. I've been feeling a bit guilty about using all this paper towel, you know, and encouraging people to buy it for workshops and things. When it's you know, I might find another option that's more environmentally friendly. I get the recycled ones obviously, but I go through a lot, so I've been not buying it really. But I kind of miss it because I need to dry the brush on something. But I just scooped up all the colour that was in the iris there, and I'm gonna see about doing something here in the white area, finding out what's happening here while I'm waiting on the iris drying. I'd like to use yellow ochre in that bit, I think. Maybe that might even be a cadmium. Might be a cadmium glow there. And I'm gonna find little areas too that I want to increase the saturation of the colour, maybe the vibrancy of the colour. This is alizarin crimson. And mix it with some viridian green because I want to deepen the channel of the shadow here without making it read as being so bluish. I wanted it to stay kind of a reddish colour. And I'll go back up here now. Like if you paint in watercolour, or if you paint in anything really, and are earnest to capture something that you've studied and are curious to capture and don't know in advance what it is, you go through quite a lot of, your painting will travel through quite a roller coaster. If you're wanting to produce a picture that's kind of repeatable, then that's a different way of working. And I just like this kind of delving into the unknown and throwing caution to the wind a bit, you know, for the sake of finding something new. So I'll carve down a little bit there, I think. Very lifting off the height of it, you know. And yeah, here too I think needs to drop a little bit. And my brush disappears, I'm washing the pigment off it and drying it again so that I can scoop it up without it adulterating the colour that's already on the paper. It's just simply lifting off, full stop. Here's some ultramarine blue, and I know this might not be fully dry, but I want to establish that pupil a little bit more clearly, that eye a little bit more clearly, and then I'm going to head off for a run with my friend. And I feel like I've got things that I want to pace out as I run, so I'm looking forward to it. Frustrations and that kind of thing. You know, the way life throws things up at you to kind of manage. It's good to have the tools of movement, I think. Alright, now there's the eyebrow too that has some more of that depth of tone in it. And I'm also going to extend the shadow from the corner of the eye down so that there's a feeling of a continuation of the dark there a little bit. I'm not bleeding tears now. I'm not shedding tears of blood, I should say. So it didn't need to be that red, did it? But it's too white enough for me to do anything really significant there, other than put in something to lengthen that quality with the lid there. Kind of hooded eyes. So I think there we have it. There we have it for today. I seem to not ever tire at the moment anyway of painting myself, and I don't think I ever have. I probably feel like I couldn't say that before because I was worried people might see me as being self-absorbed. But I don't mind what I am now. I just like to paint what I like to paint. In fact, my friend sent me a book by Philip Guston called I Paint What I Want to See. I think I just paint what I want to paint. And maybe I'm wanting to see under my own skin, and this helps me to do that somehow. Something like that. Anyway, here we have a semblance of an iris, and I need to get going, so I'm going to need to leave it before being fully happy. Philip Guston said something about it. He said if Ernest Hemingway used to make sure that he left a thing before it was complete so that he felt excited by it. He wanted to feel excited as he was leaving a thing. But Philip Guston said that he wants to grab the bull by the horns when an idea comes up and complete it. So I'm going to do the Ernest Hemingway option and leave it at that for today because I want to get my run in. And we'll see tomorrow. So there's a couple of small things that might happen that would make maybe, see if I can make that more clear. Sorry, I know it's a bit blurry. I'll see if I can do a couple of things to it once it's dry. And possibly there'll be another eye, maybe a mouth, and whatever else will fit on the page, I suppose. Okay, I'm off. Look at the hair again. Bit of a mad hair day these days. Okay, all the best. Good talking to you. See ya.